Welcome to Lynn Educational Television. I'm Afton Dean, bringing you Lynn Classical Girls Basketball as they host the Fishermen from Gloucester in the starting five. Heading out there for Classical, Jean Gupton Morrison at center court to take the tip. She's joined by Ava Thurman, Kiera Edmonds, Amber Creighton, and Sajada Dean. When Classical wins the tip and we're underway, we'll get to the Gloucester starting five in a second. Creighton gonna go along the baseline, bounce pass to Jean Gupton Morrison, and she lays it up and in. So a quick 2-0 lead for the Rams, and they're showing a little backcourt pressure. For Gloucester, it's Brittany Anderton, and that's a three-pointer by her as I say that. She's joined by Kate Bevins, Nicole Fernandez, Tanaya Wongus, and Ella Marshall. Wongus the only freshman out there for Gloucester, and Sajada Dean kisses it off the glass. And that's going to go as a three. Gupton Morrison right back with a steal. Gets her own miss. Going to kick it out to Thurman. Thurman will try from three. Gupton Morrison, another offensive rebound. Edmonds with the left hand, too strong. And a very active trip down that end of the court for the Rams. They had multiple opportunities. Unable to put any points on the board. Going to be a long night for Gloucester if they keep up that pace on the offensive glass. And they're going to get Kiera Edmonds with the reach and foul. Nice trap defense momentarily. Thurman and Edmonds. Classical looking to inch a little bit closer to the 500 mark. Creighton gets in the passing lane. One man to beat. And off the rim and out. Sajada Dean able to track down that rebound. Keep it alive for the Rams. Ava Thurman's runner's no good. It's going to be out off of Gupton Morrison. Another strong possession in terms of offensive rebounding for Classical. As I mentioned, they are trying to inch a little bit closer to the 500 mark as they sit at 4-7 on the season. And it's definitely been a different year for them. Gupton Morrison with the steal. And she's got a quick 4 points to start this game. So Classical really looking on the offensive end to search for that reliant scorer night in and night out. Jean Gupton Morrison has been big. Amber Creighton. But the last two graduating classes for the Rams have resulted in some major contributors on the offensive end. Of course, Paris Wilkie, Jaylee Madrano, part of the class of 2018, and then most recently Jasmine Massey with the class of 2019. So it's been a tough couple of years in terms of graduating key contributors to the offense. So Classical off to a quick 7-2 lead. Jean Gupton Morrison has 4. Sajada Dean banked one home from three-point land. And Gloucester not happy with their offensive rebounding to this point, I can imagine. It's been ugly throughout these first 2 minutes of the game. They get a quick timeout. We'll see what adjustments they make. Classical going to stick with a little bit of backcourt pressure. Gloucester passes nicely out of it. And airmailed from 3 right to Jean Gupton Morrison. Gets it ahead to Thurman. Shot wild. Amber Creighton right there. And they're going to call for the travel. Again, Classical battling on the glass. Gloucester has all upperclassmen in the starting lineup, with the exception of Tanaya Wongus, who is a freshman. And Ava Thurman lays it up and in. She was inserted into the lineup. And speaking of freshmen, Ava Thurman is a freshman. Forgot to mention. Tipped out of bounds off of Gupton Morrison. He'll stay. Gloucester ball. 21 seconds left on the shot clock. Bevins will inbound. Quick shot by Wongus. No good. Gloucester with an offensive rebound of their own. Shot no good. Edmonds, baseball pass ahead to Dean. Dean was thinking bounce pass to Thurman. Somehow got into her hands. Misses the mid-ranger. And Gloucester the other way. So Coach Sawyer not going with his usual starting five. A little bit different look. And that's Ella Marshall who drains it from behind the arc. In and out. Longest looking. Right back to her. She's going to shoot it from three. And Wild with that one. Captain Morrison takes down another rebound. Right to Creighton, who was running the floor. She had a step on her defender. And those are her first points of the night. And she's had a very strong season up until this point. Ava Thurman comes away with it. Ahead to Dean and through the hands of Dean. And it's going to come back Gloucester's way. So Bosco turns the ball over. Lauren Hennessy checks into the game for the Rams. And that's the first move off the classical bench. Hennessy also a freshman. And I should also mention that Sailor Brinkler also checking into this game. Hennessy from deep and drains it, the freshman. Lauren Hennessy. Quick three off the bench, and that will help her team out. 14-5 classical advantage. 9-point lead, their largest of the night. And we're going to get a foul before the shot. It won't be a continuation play, so Gloucester will take it out underneath the basket. They'll get a fresh 30 on the clock. And Amber Creighton going to get her first spot on the bench tonight. And she'll be replaced by Molly Mannion, excuse me. Sajada Dean misses with the right hand. Too strong off the glass. Gloucester not afraid to shoot from long range. Let's see. Kicks it out, nobody home. They're going to say she stepped out. And Classical getting a little bit sloppy with the basketball in these last couple possessions. Gloucester going to go deep down the court. Don't see that very often out of an inbounds pass. Sailor Blinker comes away with the miss, gets it to Jean Gupton Morrison ahead. And Mannion gets hit on the arm. It's the first time I've seen Mannion with varsity minutes this year. So Coach Sawyer making some adjustments as the season goes on here. Looking to do anything to turn this around. Upton Morrison off the missed free throw. Just off the rim and out. Thurman will kick it cross court. Glasgow passing side to side nicely. Hennessy, 3-ball, no good. Upton Morrison one more time, offensive rebound. Can't complete the putback. She's had a few of those early on as we come up on the 1-minute mark to play here in the first quarter. And with that, Gloucester will take a timeout. So Glasgow with a 14-5 advantage as they have a comfortable 9-point cushion as we approach the end of the first quarter. Lauren Hennessy with a 3-pointer off the bench. And Sajeda Dean also making a big contribution from behind the arc. She had a 3 of her own. And the only points for Gloucester have been Ella Marshall and Brittany Anderton, the lone scoring for the Fishermen. And not the crowd you would expect for a Friday night game. Both sides with plenty of room for fans. And for all of those joining us on Lynn Educational Television, be sure to check out our YouTube page, Lynn Educational Television. Give us a like, subscribe. We're uploading new videos of your favorite athletic games in the Lynn area. Lynn Classical, Lynn English, Lynn Tech, St. Mary's. Those are being uploaded daily. And back to the action here as we approach the end of the first. Gloucester looking to dive into this deficit. Nice defense by Brinkler. Contested that shot. Gloucester can't save it, so Classical will get the ball back. Ava Thurman brings it up. And I was going to say nearly travels with it, and as I was about to say that, the official blows the whistle. And they get her. She lost her pivot foot. Nearly a backcourt violation, saved, but right into the hands of Mannion. Amber Creighton with the left hand. She looked up at the official, thought she got hit on the arm. Creighton with the loose ball ahead. Classical's got numbers. And the pass just a little bit too far ahead of Thurman. Classical had 3 people back, and there wasn't a maroon jersey in sight. Would have been an easy 2. And those are the ones that I'm sure drive Coach Sawyer crazy. So Classical can get the final shot here. Thurman had other ideas. And it's going to fortunately stay Classical ball here. And we'll see if Classical will settle for the final shot as they have a pretty good lead here. Thurman will take it side out. Brinkler from 3, off the rim and out. And it's going to stay Classical ball as there's a travel off the rebound. They're going to get Kiera Edmonds in. And we'll see what they draw up. Thurman in the corner, double teamed out to Edmonds. And they can't get a shot off. So that will do it. Classical gonna head into the second quarter with a 9-point lead, 14-5. we'll see you for the second quarter of action. And Classical with a commanding 14-5 lead as we begin the second quarter. Gene Gupton Morrison, your game's leading scorer with 4 first quarter points. And Classical will start off with a stop on defense. Classical back to the starting 5, with the exception of Sailor Brinkler. Nice move by Sajeda Dean, but off the top of the backboard. And another turnover for Gloucester. And Amber Creighton, they're going to say jump ball. And it's going to stay Classical ball. Edmonds will inbound. Nice move by Gupton Morrison. Little turnaround. And she's got 6. That was a smooth move inside by Gupton Morrison. And she comes away with the rebound on the defensive end. Up ahead to Sajeda Dean. Dean! Acrobatic move. Can't spin it home. She had a couple nice moves. Three-pointer airmailed by Anderton. And Classical will get the ball back. So Classical with some pretty good defense, along with some poor shooting by Gloucester. And Gloucester with 5 points up until this point. And we're going to get another jump ball, and this one's going to come back Gloucester's way. The steal, Sajeda Dean, all by herself, and misses the shot. Credit Kiera Edmonds, who gets back into the play. And gonna get Classical another try on this trip down the court. She'll inbound side out. Fresh 30 on the clock for Classical. Kick it out, Edmonds off the mark from 3. And Amber Creighton gonna get hit on the arm and gonna get some free throws. She'll be rewarded for her efforts on the glass. And Gupton Morrison and Creighton, both strong presence for the Rams down low. And makes the first. Creighton, one of the senior captains, along with Gene Gupton Morrison. And they've really led the charge so far for the Rams this season. Still well in reach of making the state tournament. They sit at 4-7. They'll win tonight. We'll put them at 5-7. 1 of 2 at the line for Creighton. Classical not backing off that pressure, and they're going to force a turnover. Traveling violation will be called against Gloucester. So the ball will come back to Classical. They have a 12-point lead. 17-5. And it's been a scoring drought for Gloucester. They haven't scored since the first quarter. And it was midway through that first quarter. So offense hard to come by for the Fishermen so far tonight. Fortunate to get that ball in. And stolen away by Sajeda Dean. And Dean banks it home. Dean's got 5. And another turnover, and this time, count the basket. And Kiera Edmonds. I'm not sure how she got that off. But she'll have a chance for a 3-point play. Can't hit the free throw, but count the basket. Glasgow on a 7-0 run in the quarter. Gloucester yet to score. Creighton comes out of a crowd. Ahead Dean, 1 man to beat. Can't lay it up and in. Creighton misses the putback, and the official gonna signal that it will stay Glasgow ball. Loop it ahead to Jean Gupton-Morrison. Edmonds gonna go baseline, left hand, short. Jean Gupton-Morrison too far underneath the backboard. And Creighton fighting for it. And the jump ball gonna stay Classical's ball. Good effort by Creighton.
Bro, I could bet you one hand. No.
Lauren Hennessy, little floater, too strong off the glass. Somehow gets that to Creighton. And you're gonna get a foul against Gloucester. And Creighton hit across the arm. So she will get 2 free throws. And nice play by Lauren Hennessy. Gets the rebound off her own miss. Not sure how she got it to Creighton. Somehow did. Now Creighton has a chance to turn it into some points, and she does. Makes the first. And 1 of 2. Creighton 2 of 4 at the line tonight. And right back to Gupton-Morrison. And another foul. Creighton will be back at the line. So Gloucester with all kinds of issues. Even getting the ball on their side of the court. So 2 more coming up for Creighton. Makes the first. And makes both. Now 4 of 6 at the line tonight. She's got 6. Another miss for Gloucester, another rebound for Jean Gupton-Morrison. Nice pass inside. And Jean Gupton-Morrison threw a bullet pass inside to Reese Brinkler. Jean Gupton-Morrison has great vision of the court, something that was very apparent. She got her first significant varsity minutes last season. Up ahead to Lauren Hennessy. And she's a bright spot for this Rams team. She's only a freshman. And I'm sure she's a name we'll be hearing for the next 3 years. She's shown some great signs of growth throughout the first part of this season. Amazing to think that we're already over the halfway mark of the season. And it's been a fast-moving winter season. And Classical has played the bulk of their games on the road throughout these first 11. So they'll hopefully take advantage of some home court advantage and start piling up the wins to get into the state tournament in the second half of the season. And nothing going down for Gloucester. That was halfway down. Gloucester fortunate to get the ball back here as it ricochets off of Classical. And going to be out off of Sprinkler. And with that, we are going to get a timeout by Coach Sawyer, and we're at the 3:26 mark here of the first half. Classical with their largest lead. Gloucester has yet to score in the second quarter. Classical outscoring them 10-0 up until this point in the quarter. Classical, of course, led at 14-5 after one, and they're able to stretch this lead with the scoring drought of Gloucester. Gloucester is hoping for someone to get the hot hand. And I'm sure they'll make some adjustments in the locker room at halftime. But Ella Marshall and Brittany Anderton, the only two Gloucester players to score up until this point. And for Classical, Jean Gupton Morrison and Amber Creighton have combined for 12 points. And also, Lauren Hennessy has 7 off the bench. So if you're a Classical fan, you like the scoreboard in this one.
Are you on you? You always do super when you're on this. Oh, you right there.
Three-pointer short. And one finally goes. So a little sigh of relief. Kennedy Rounds. And that is Reese Brinkler, her first points of the night. And a nice pass underneath. Rounds to Bevins. And suddenly 2 baskets for Gloucester, and they will get the ball back here. Gloucester headed by head coach Sean Gullert. Classical still well in command of this game, 28-9. And Kennedy Rounds off the bench, supplying some offense in some not much needed offense at that. Ava Thurman tries from long range, off the mark. Lauren Hennessy gonna pull up in between, jumper doesn't go. And 2 minutes to play here in the first half. Classical looking to keep the gas pedal down here. And Jean Gupton Morrison, count the basket. And she will have a chance for a 3-point play. So absorbs the contact nicely. Kate Bevins, the senior captain, goes to the bench. She was part of ending that scoring drought a few minutes ago for Gloucester. And Kennedy Rounds also goes to the bench. So Gupton Morrison with the 3-point play. And a nice defense by Reese Brinkler. Tennessee misses the wide open shot. And then comes away with the steal. And somehow gets that off. Nice move by Hennessy on the fast break. And we're going to get a timeout on the Gloucester side. So 1:15 left to play here in the first half. Classical in a commanding 33-11 game. And they've extended their lead to 22 here in the second quarter after leading 14-5 after one. As you see the scoreboard, fouls 6-4. Advantage Classical. And I think the biggest advantage up until this point has been the offensive rebounding of the Rams. And Gloucester just getting outplayed right now. And their offense has sputtered since the halfway mark of the first quarter. So when we take a pause at halftime, Classical will have a large lead. And Gloucester will inbound. Both teams should get a couple possessions here to end the half. Of course, barring some offensive rebounds. That's tipped out, and officials look at each other. One official pointed Classical's way, the other pointed Gloucester's way. And they're going to say Gloucester. Gloucester ball, 16 on the shot clock. And Nicole Fernandez, her first points of the night. Thurman will try from deep. Short. And credit Molly Mannion for keeping the possession alive. So Jada Dean set to inbound. Mannion can't handle the pass. And Gloucester going to slow it down here. Longest from deep, no good. Pass too far ahead of Thurman. Saves it right to Hennessy. And Lauren Hennessy continues her productive first half. And thrown out by Gloucester out of the reach of Fernandez. Desperation shot by Sajeda Dean, well short as time expires in the half. But a good half at that for Classical as they head into the locker room and extend their lead. They now lead at 35-13, and we'll see you for the second half of action. And we will begin in the second half of action. Classical with a commanding 35-13 lead. And a lot to like if you're a Classical fan in that first half, as it featured 6 different players in the scoring column, led by Lauren Hennessy with 11. The freshman making some impact on the offensive end. Jean Gupton Morrison with 9. And Sajeda Dean starts out with a miss from 3. Fernandez off balanced along the baseline. They're going to get Dean for the foul, so her second personal, first team foul. And Nicole Fernandez will be at the line shooting 2. And Classical absolutely dominated on the offensive glass in that first half. Big reason why they've opened up this lead. And the offense for Gloucester completely sputtered halfway through that first quarter. Fernandez makes 1 of 2. Creighton halfway down. And then they're going to get her with a foul. Longus will pull up, wide open look. And they're going to say it's a 2. Her foot was right on the line. And good call by the officials. Tipped out of bounds off Fernandez. It will stay Classical ball. 21 still on the shot clock. Plenty of time for Gloucester, but gonna have to be a little bit more assertive on the defensive end to make up 19 points. Half hook shot for Creighton doesn't go. Tracked down by Jean Gupta-Morrison. Thurman too strong. And Gloucester will come back the other way. They get one stop there. And Edmonds comes away with the miss. And Sajeda Dean muscling everybody down low. And multiple opportunities again for Classical. And Jean Gupta-Morrison, somehow that ball found her. And who but Amber Creighton with the putback. So Classical finally gets it to go. That trip down the court. And another turnover for Gloucester. And not the best foul there if you Gloucester. Kiera Edmonds had no space to get that shot off. She lost her pivot foot. Lost the dribble underneath the basket. So silly foul for Gloucester. Edmonds will get 2 here. Just kind of shows the type of night they've had up until this point. Edmonds makes the first. And 1 of 2 at the line. And it will stay Classical's ball as Ella Marshall loses it. And Edmonds gets it into the corner. Classical the other way. Dean sidesteps the defender. Nice play by Sajeda Dean. She's had a couple acrobatic moves tonight. 40-16 Classical lead. Lead back up to 24. And Gloucester going to continue shooting from long range. Thurman and Dean on the fast break. And Thurman and Dean staying aggressive. Thurman with the putback. That's Thurman's first basket of the night. And Sajeda Dean with another one of her own. One more turnover for Gloucester. And Claire, look at the basket for Amber Creighton. She misses it. Coach Gallart telling his team to slow things down a little bit. And rightfully so. Turnovers really becoming an issue if they hadn't already. Kate Bevins uses the glass for Gloucester. Creighton cut off along the baseline, no problem. Nice dish to Jean Gupton Morrison. Gupton Morrison's got 11. Amber Creighton with the assist. And it is all classical right now. They're pouring it on. And Gloucester not helping their cause and having all kinds of trouble taking care of the basketball. So 46-18 lead as we come up on the halfway mark of the third quarter. For all of those just joining us, it's been all classical up until this point. Classical led at 14-5 after 1, and they opened up their lead in the second quarter after outscoring Gloucester 21-8. So Classical firing on all cylinders offensively, and a very balanced scoring attack for the Rams. So that's a good sign, especially if you're Coach Sawyer looking to get this team back on track. Coming into this game at 4-7. A win tonight would make them 5-7 and halfway towards a state tournament berth. So tonight would be a big win. Costco not backing off on the half-court pressure. And Longa's going to keep shooting from long range. And this time, she uses the glass. Her first three of the night. Hennessy will try one of her own. Shot going to be blocked. And Edmonds slaps it away from behind. So nice defense by Edmonds. And you guessed it, tally up another turnover for Gloucester. Gloucester leads it here at 46-21. Nice look inside. Brinkler can't convert. Gloucester going to get the ball back here. Gloucester moving the ball a little bit better on this possession. And going to come away empty here. Edmonds, long pass ahead. And off the fingertips of Hennessy. Molly Mannion just checked into the game for Classical. Edmonds tracks it down. And they're going to say it was out off of Classical. Out off of Brinkler. So Gloucester fortunate to have the ball here. And Ella Marshall tries from three. That's her second of the night. And it couldn't come at a better time if you're the Fisherman. And if you're Gloucester, you need some more of that offense. Ava Thurman in, Sajada Dean to the bench. Thurman, Edmonds, Hennessy, Mannion, and Brinkler out right there right now for the Rams. And good defense along the baseline by Molly Mannion. Edmonds from the corner. Can't hit. Hennessy tracks down the loose ball. Edmonds will try one more time. And this time she hits Kiera Edmonds for 3. She's got 6 points on the night. And shooters will keep on shooting. Longus rims it out. And both teams, despite the score, battling tough here. It's going to stay Gloucester ball. A little bit better job in the scoring column for Gloucester in this quarter. They've scored 11, but advantage Classical 14-11. So definitely some better signs on the offensive end if you're Gloucester. But it hasn't shown on the scoreboard. Mannion from the corner. Front rims it. No whistle in the backcourt. And the runner goes. Nice touch there. Ella Marshall. And they're going to get her to the line here. She's going to have a chance for a 3-point play. Looked like she got hit on the arm. Late call by the officials. And in and out. That's just the type of night it's been for Gloucester. Kennedy Rounds comes away with it. Longus off balance. And nothing doing. Classical can afford to take some time here off the clock. I was thinking they'd try to get the final shot. Clock will wind down. Classical turns it over, and that will do it. So we'll go into the final quarter of action. Classical on top, 49-26. And we're ready for the final 8 minutes of basketball. And if you're just joining us, it has been all Classical up until this point. Classical on top, 49-26. And barring a miracle comeback, the Rams are going to pick up their 5th win of the season and get another win closer to a state tournament berth. And that's Ella Marshall. She's had a good night for Gloucester. She's got 9. Make it 11 now. Thurman lays it high off the glass. She's also had a really good night. Been very active on both sides of the floor. Longus keeps launching from 3 and makes that one. And as I mentioned, this Fisherman team not afraid to shoot it from 3. And Gloucester gets it back. And foul before the shot, so Classical ball here. Hennessy will bring it up for the Rams. Hennessy and Thurman, the two freshmen for Classical. Brinkler long from the corner. And Thurman gets knocked down. And we'll head to the line. He makes the first. Sisters Sailor and Reese Brinkler out there for Classical right now. Ava Thurman at the line. And Molly Mannion and Lauren Hennessy. Complete the 5 out there for Classical. We'll see how deep Coach Sawyer goes into his bench. He has gotten some minutes for many of his players up until this point. I'm not sure who he's got left. Another rebound for Brinkler. Thurman thought about it. And stolen away. And another turnover. Both teams just exchanging turnovers. And as you saw, it happen at the end of the third quarter. Nearly identical on that play. And Classical have multiple opportunities come up empty. But Gloucester continuing to get outmatched on the glass. Jumper from the free throw line doesn't go. Ahead to Thurman. 3-on-1 break for Classical. Thurman with the left hand finishes it. 2 more. She's got 6 on the night. Longush will try again from that side and hits. Give her another 3. And she's made a couple 3s in the quarter. Nice dish by Hennessy. Pass just a little bit too low for Brinkler to handle. And with that, Natalia Massey enters the game for Classical. So I was wondering how much further Coach Sawyer could go into his bench. Now I think we are fully into their bench. Massey, of course, the sister of Jasmine Massey, who had a great career here at Classical. And she has gone on to continue her education at my alma mater, Bentley University. So we'll get a quick timeout on the Gloucester side. 3:58 left to play in the game. 55-34 Classical, well in command, and they have been since the first quarter. And it was quiet to begin with in this gymnasium. It has gotten even quieter as Classical with this blowout lead on their way to this blowout win. Still some fans hanging around to see the end of this one. And Gloucester going to have a long bus ride home. And we'll have a long time to think about this one. Gloucester with a couple home games coming up next week. We'll look to stay in the win column and string together some wins as they make their way into the second half of the season. So Natalia Massey will inbound out of the timeout. Lauren Hennessy will bring it up. Trying to go inside there, pass picked off. Longest will try from the corner. Off the mark. Massey battles, rips it away. And that's some great effort off the bench. That will earn you some minutes. And Brinkler from the corner. And not to be confused with her sister, that is Sailor Brinkler with the number 3 on her back. So we'll stay Gloucester ball here. 15 seconds on the shot clock. And Amelia Pedro has checked in for the Rams. And another 3 for Longus. She's getting in a little rhythm here. Still a 58-37 game. Too strong off the glass for Hennessy. Every classical player has gotten to the game up to this point, with the exception of the senior captain, Lindsay Valeri, who was a late scratch tonight. So every eligible player for tonight's game, not on the injury report, is in the game and has secured some minutes. Natalie Favava trying to get her first points of the night. And misses both at the line. And this is a very much an upper class team for Gloucester. They have 4 seniors and 3 juniors. And just the 1 freshman. Or 2 freshmen, excuse me. Of course, Tanaya Wongus, who has been a bright spot tonight from behind the arc. We'll get another timeout on the floor. It looks like the classical starters nights are over. And all played a role in this one and getting classical off to a good start. Special thanks to my camera crew tonight, who are doing a phenomenal job, and they do all season, braving the tough conditions during football season. And as we get into the winter, everyone's happy to get inside of a warm gym, and they do a great job. And for all of you who have joined us tonight, Channel 15 Comcast, Channel 36 Verizon. Be sure to follow us on YouTube. And you can search Lynn Educational Television. Give us a subscribe, give us a like. We're uploading new games and events daily, so you won't want to miss it.
32.
Just past the 2-minute mark here. Coach Sawyer has a chance to see some of his young players in the next minute plus. And one of the big things that sticks out on the score sheet for Classical is balanced scoring. Eight different players have scored for the Rams. So the balance is definitely a big positive from this big win. Amelia Pedro gonna try to go the length of the court. And instead, Longest goes coast to coast. Finishes with a nice floater. And as Classical gets it over half court, we'll go right over or under the 1 minute mark here. And that's stolen away. And that is Ella Marshall. She's had a great second half in this game. She's got 13 now. Looked down at my score sheet and didn't realize she had that many. It's going to go back Gloucester's way. So Classical, the early lead. Longest front rims it. We'll try again. Same result. Classical with the large lead early on. Classical really outplayed Gloucester on the glass. And Gloucester unable to dig themselves out of that big hole. And 20 seconds to play in this one. So Classical will take this one tonight. And for the Rams, it was Lauren Hennessy and Jean Gupton-Morris with 11 points apiece. They combined for 22 of the 58 Classical points. Amber Creighton, big game on the glass for Classical, and she also finishes with 8 points. 7 points for Sajeda Dean, including a 3-pointer coming back in the first quarter. And it was 6 apiece for Ava Thurman and Kiara Edmonds. So again, 8 different players score for the Rams. And also add in Molly Mannion, who had a basket, and Sailor Brinkler with a 3-pointer. So 8 different Rams in the scoring column. Of course, for Gloucester, offense a little bit more hard to come by. Classical still staying aggressive here. And Tanaya Wongus hit a couple threes in the fourth quarter. And she finishes with 13. Ella Marshall with 13. So they combine for 26 of the 41 Gloucester points. Also for Gloucester, Kennedy Rounds with 4 points. She added a nice presence in that third quarter, especially, or in that second quarter when Gloucester was in a little bit of an offensive drought. Kate Bevins also added 4, and that just about did it. So Gloucester, not really much of a game out of them, as they fell into a hole early on. They trailed by 9 after 1. Classical outscored them in that second quarter, 21-8, and Classical really opened up things from there, led at 49-26 after 3. And where we stand now is 58-41. Shot clock off. Gloucester will have a chance to get shot off. And the buzzer will sound, and that will do it. So as I predicted, it stays 58-41. and both teams will head into next week. Glasgow will look to capitalize on this win as they improve to 5-7. Gloucester will hope to forget about this one pretty quickly. So the final score here, 58-41. Glasgow wins it big. They improved to 5-7 on the season and inch a little bit closer to a state tournament berth. So for all of us here at Lynn Educational Television, I'm Afton Dean. We hope you enjoyed this one, and we'll see you next time.